Shopify Rebellion will have to do much better than what we've seen from them so far.
Last chance qualifiers. And boy, oh boy, it didn't look like Black Dragon. Souls is under fire. There's air jabs going out. There's flames in front. Drones being sent his way. The air jab knocks him into the fire and in the flames. Spoit will capitalize. The first kill of this series goes to the
KDR, I should say, putting up against Black Dragons. He gets dispatched early, and another one as Ambi takes down Vidaking.
Great start for this team. They are on familiar territory. Shopify Rebellion may be a lot of things, but one thing they are is consistent on this map. They are a great labs team. They should be able to handle this, even if they are on the unfavorable side. Handy with the lone kill so far for FaZe Clan, and that'll be all she wrote. Rex himself, huge content creator. Oh my. Cyber and Ambi will do battle. Ambi actually winning that duel. There are very few that can stand up to Cyber, and I'm glad that Ambi's the one to do it. They are using Soma charges on the inside of the reinforcement to get to the outside of the map. That is something that is so seldom seen. And it is quite enjoyable. Canadian trying to take up space. His feet get shot away at by Vidaking. And now return to the bomb site by KDS will work. These MP7s doing some great damage. Handy on the board as well. And Rexon is all on his lonesome, tearing strips through the Mozzie, but can't quite complete the job. FaZe gave the bomb site to Shopify Rebellion, and it turned out to be a bit of a ruse.
Yep.
FaZe
to maybe give some hope to Shopify Rebellion, and I still don't, but what I do have is a sample size. FaZe have played one game so far today at this tournament before right now, and even for these map stats, the mid floor looking enticing.
And Canadian going for another quick defuse. It did not work out so well in the previous round. He falls off of the case and will attempt it again. Rexon eliminating Souls, the smoke of Vidaking, throwing some gas out. Canadian punished for it. Cyber out of nowhere finds two, and the case is now surrendered inside of the Lion's Den. This might be tough for Shopify Rebellion to recover from, but you've got three incredible guns still upright, and Rexon's gonna find his third kill of the round with just two remaining. We're on Ace Watch.
Yeah, already 35 seconds left in this round. Vidaking and KDS need to hold things down with a low man count situation. The defuse kit still just outside of storage window, so they can jump in and go for the plants, but it's pretty obvious what they want to do.
Rexon's still holding this spot from above, but he's out-dueled by KDS. The Scorpions just tearing through no matter who finds themselves on the opposite side of them. Surf, last man standing, diffuser gets planted, and would you look at that? FaZe for the second round in a row sweeps through the moment the objective goes down and is perfect in the post plant.
Off the plants that first time, Cyber pushes up and gets that kill, and then even...
If you can just seed all this ground, if you realize that roaming isn't really helping you, and that there's a better strategy to be had here, forfeit this part of the map, it can work out. Vidaking will start the killing with a minute left in the round. Ambi dies, Cyber is traded out, Spoit and Surf on the board. The King will find his second kill. The Surf is waiting with diffuser in hand inside of IT, waiting for the all clear to walk it on it.
Yeah, now we've got two players IT. Spoit, the lone man, not with his team, is going to be going over towards Aqua. He needs to be able to get a pick, but he's no 1v1 with Handy lined up, and Handy doesn't miss these often.
Who on FaZe does? That's the real question.
Good question.
It's a tough spot for Spoit. Handy making some noise, an overture for him, but he gets called back to the bomb site, and there we go. Spoit almost got the Nitro Cell hucked out. Vidaking finds a third, and Surf is still poised, not far removed from his position. KDS, who
tucked in on maybe the assembly door.
Let's have a look.
There goes the death mark. In hopes of finding Vidaking, and Canadian will be off to the races again. I like the tempo that is being set. Oh my goodness, how did Handy miss that engagement? They walked right into each other. FaZe Clan not looking in the direction that the Rebellion are coming from. They barge into the bomb site. They've surrendered the diffuser. It needs to be retrieved as Spoit gets gunned down. KDS takes quite a beating. 45 seconds left, and it's time for a reset from the Rebellion after they were hoping for an early push again, and I was just about to praise SR for how quick they've been to get into the bomb site. The killing will continue, this time Canadian taken out by KDS. Soul still searching for his very first kill as diffuser gets planted by Surf. Explosion goes off. They have a read on it, Jesse, and they'll watch it from above. A 3v3 is now the timer shortened by the case being planted. Rexon out-dueled by Cyber. Ambi takes care of KDS. Hatch opened up. An easier drop into the bomb site. FaZe will take advantage of that. The Rebellion just catching FaZe Clan looking the wrong way time and time again. Soul's now last alive. in the thick of it, targeted by the death mark. To add insult to injury, nobody enjoys being in this particular situation. He knows where Ambi is. They know where he is. He's but a couple seconds for Souls to get on this kit. Nope, a nice shot onto Ambi, but at best, a Pyrrhic victory for Souls as the timer will give it to the Rebellion. Of that Brava, as Vidiking has to shoot his own Melusi Banshee. Well, not his, I guess technically it's Handy's, but it's his own team's. As his spot inside of IT is given away, and he's collapsed upon by Ambi. Now Souls is urged into action. Cyber on the board. FaZe Clan have been exceptional, Jesse, at getting 2 quick kills in reaction to equalize and set us often into a 2v2 or a 3v3 situation. But Canadian's got other ideas, taking matters into his own hands. A kill and now close to planting the case down. Spoit dies at the hands of Handy, but still an advantage for Shopify Rebellion. Handy's been reduced to about half HP, but he's still fragging. Now it's Souls down below, surveying the damage that was done above. You know how hard it is to hop on this case and go for a defuse in this position. And they'll soon start to run out of time. About halfway point of the diffuser now. The Azami's swinging. A small missed opportunity for Rexon. Oh my goodness, they fall off! These post plants from FaZe Clan have been so damn good! And they win yet another 4-2 the first half for FaZe.
He took the time to kill the site player.
You can still give credit.
He went and he killed
Basement bomb site, right? The idea was to go for a retake. That was the teams will come to blows at some point over by Electrical. Never mind. Ambi moves out of that position. Nades Magnetic. They're following him. Spoit, just as he did in the first half, will get the first kill of the second half as well. Cyber trades it out immediately, but it's Rexon who dies. Ambi goes down. Now it's Spoit to die. And FaZe Clan are saying, we don't really care what the stats say about this map. We're going to clobber you. We'll find you. Attackers, defenders, doesn't matter at
should tell you everything you need to know about how
good was the game. We know the casting was bad, but how good was the game?
All right.
A brief push now by the Ying, enabled by the first kill of Cyber. Second kill from Cyber up top. And the defuse kit was getting planted, does get planted. Vidiking and Cyber now existing on borrowed time. What remains of Vidiking is gone. Cyber will join him. That's 10 seconds off the defuse kit, though. The job becomes ever harder for the Rebellion. Time continuing to run away. Souls, Handy, and KDS still alive. Death marks in pocket for Handy. He can use them at his leisure. That will make things even more challenging for Shopify Rebellion. KDS with one, Handy dies back to even numbers, 2v2. Surf hits the drive-by, and now it's KDS over top of the defuse kit. All he needs to do is buy another second. Surf is on it. Stop him in his tracks. Surf does not fake, and the Rebellion will hang on to the round. In the Weibo game, where Weibo was just winning rounds, even though it didn't look like they should, and they just have heroic efforts. Oh my goodness. He's not going to get another, is he? A nice Nitro Cell from Surf will net 1, but there are more in tow. And Surf beheading Vidiking. They've got crossfires held. FaZe is utility starved at this point. Those EMPs that Souls have are really ineffective, but I mean, hey, you've got the DMR. You've got 2 DMRs. You can do some serious damage. With time running against you, I think it might be a little too late. Maybe not. There goes Rexon. 3v3, running out of time. Diffuser walked on in, dropped, and no way in the final 2 seconds they find anything. Half of the round, or half of the lobby, still survives. 2 players on FaZe.
Giving up anything. I think Spoit's played a very restrained game, a very cautious game, and I think it's paid off for him as they come back with this defense, and there it is, rewarded with a Nitro Cell from Canadian, getting the first blood on the Cyber.
Bad egg, good aim from Canadian. Cyber's having a bad day, you've got Souls, you've got KDS. You've got all these guys that can easily shoulder some of that weight. Handy's another name that gets used a lot, and down goes Ambi to equalize into a 4v4 with 44 seconds left.
Yeah, 4 Candelas, still 3 smokes, plus Capitao makes it 5. There's a lot of utility for FaZe Clan, and it's coming barreling in right now.
A bit of disorientation from those Fenrir F-Knots, trying to outdo themselves. There's some Guzmat mines as well that Handy is dealing with. Around the corner, oh my goodness, he's breakdancing on him, and Handy styles on Spoit. Souls getting the diffuser the halfway point, but he has to bail off and will now attempt it yet again. But 2 for the price of 1 for Surf, and Rexon sends us to a tie game. say his name, and we'll be talking about Ambi, we'll be talking about Rexen, we'll be talking about Cyber, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, hold on a second, when did Surf get 8 kills? I feel like Souls is kind of the same way, and oftentimes KDS is in that same boat. Rexen, the star of the show, 2.
Wow, Souls is in. He's trying to find the clutch, a hammer.
Oh, no!
And with the air jab, he gets shot from below instead. They eventually clear out the clash, but it costs them a couple of bodies, and it's a 3v3. Your player is really lobby side. You've got 2 more Capitao smokes plus a firebolt to try to burn out Rexen, and they'll do a great job with that. Missed with the first fire, didn't aim high enough. That time, though, they hit their mark, and with a man advantage, they can choose. Do we go kills? Do we go plant?
Player who's been really quiet so far this map, Spoit, was being tracked by the death mark of Deimos. Handy still has 1 more in pocket that's currently regenerating. With 40 seconds left, that's some good timing here. Black eye cams will persist for Spoit. And he'll be watched by the rest of his team. Surf has the pulse sensor, the cardiac sensor. If need be, he can actively call. But at this point, I think you need to have a gun in hand. Spoit at the read, but Handy just has the better reflex. Surf fighting for his life now, tucked inside of the vending machine. What will pop out? Handy now getting Diffuser down with all 12 kills on Gamble. Cyber not far removed. Nitro cell goes. Not enough to shake Handy off of this spot. Surf will now rotate and stare at the other portion of Kitchen. Being watched by the Deimos, and Handy is just so good. My God.
Vidiking was the best shield player in the world. I think he's the best traditional shield player. And then shields got buffed. Everybody started playing shield. You could debate.
Canadian with the crossfire. He wasn't the only one involved in that action. KDS
rounds this series with a last-second nitro to deny a plant. He's looking to do that again in this round.
Everybody still alive and at full HP on the side of the Rebellion. Spoit, to his credit, getting some high impact kills, even if he is towards the bottom of the standings. Ambi and Spoit now shrugging off some damage here as out go the Bees. This is just some area denial as FaZe are desperate for information and have very little time to make it into the win column. I don't think it's going to happen. Spoit going huge, Jesse. Which member of the 5 remaining Rebellion players will get it? It's Spoit! A 4K for Spoit as the round is taking quite the beating. Flailing outside of the breach. That's KDS. Mag dumping in, but not finding anything. Oh my goodness, Canadian tucked into the corner. That was a similar position that we saw earlier. Why were you there? Rexen will equalize, taking down side.
But Spoit is still close, playing with that Scorpion of Ella. Rexen not far away either. That's the person at the end of that barrel. And
what a shot, removing Rexen and his head from the server. Surf trades it right back. So whether they're surrendering these opening picks or not, they are keeping it so close. A small advantage now for the Rebellion as the last 2 players from FaZe are close enough by. Spoit gets flushed out by KDS. Excellent use of the gadget. KDS now on ace watch as he's picked up 3 kills with still 2 remaining. They've pushed Surf over towards Aqua. A down now as they pivot towards Ambi's position in electrical. Walking his way towards the defuse plant in the hands of KDS. Souls gets the final 2, and FaZe move back to match. Smokes, flashbangs, another set of smokes. A lot of tools here for the Rebellion to crack open this site.
Candela's coming in, as you say, Parker. It could be an early kill from Canadian, but he's got to be so careful and drops the defuse kit instead.
He had one close by. He knew the right read, but KDS had the long-range engagement. Souls and Vidiking go into the ground at the hands of Ambi and Rexen, and now Cyber hits the flank through Aqua, walking his way up. Can he catch them off guard? Ambi is waiting for it. 3 kills for the youngster who's now planting the diffuser. What can't he do? KDS trapped inside of the site, shrugging off damage, dragging Spoit down with him, but a 4 kill in hand for Rexen as he's prepped and ready. Out it goes, completely blind. Hard to tell if he hit it or not. I believe he did. Handy now just slowly edging his way in, and Rexen somehow beats him. Excuse me, Vidiking will say something about it, trading him right off, but I have no idea how Rexen was able to land that kill. Chaos has been thrown in the midst of this site. Diffuser picked up by Souls as now there will be a brief lull as the smoke clears on the side of the B site.
One more Toxic Babe in Surf's pocket. They can still delay this longer. They've got to force that out, their FaZe clan, or they're going to have to go for a different plant spot. Soul's in the bomb site now, starts the plant, the Clash sees it, and the smokes come through.
And I think he's going to, exactly, and they have to get out of there. KDS is down below. They'll juggle the defuse kit. They don't know how many smokes are left. Spoit takes one more down. An advantage for the Rebellion as Canadian still persists on this clash. Here's KDS on the flank. A nade goes out. He could do so much damage. Looking around towards the bomb chassis, taking down Ambi. Multiple dominoes fall. Very little time left. Canadian just needs to stay alive, and he's doing a good enough job at it. And they'll win the round off the timer. The Rebellion survive quite the scare.
Shopify Rebellion on Nighthaven Labs. I'm not worried about yesterday's demons haunting and lends to their ability to play aggressive, to get up on those windows, to make. Again, FaZe really haven't committed much to clearing through the top floor.
And first kill's gonna go to Ambi, in keeping with what we saw on Nighthaven Labs. Shopify Rebellion were excellent at opening picks. It was what comes next that is a bit of a problem, and well, history is repeating itself. Rexon and Canadian felled by Cyber and Ver from Surf. Under 30 seconds to go. Diffuse kit will be maneuvered elsewhere. It was that bulletproof camera that was the problem. Cyber with all 3 kills on the side of FaZe Clan. He's in fine form. It's Ambi and Surf that you need to take care of. Surf, unrelenting upstairs. Ambi drops down to take matters into his own hands, greeted by KDS. And Souls will sit outside on the first name. Are you pals with him or something? Surf is Damien, if people are curious. Handy will strike first in this second round, gunning down Ambi, who's not exactly the most productive start to Chalet, but that's okay. Ebbs and flows for these players. You just have to make sure that Ambi is good when it counts the most. Spoit will die, but his gadgets will persist. That's 2 quick blows for the Rebellion, and a third could be had as Surf is flushed out of his position, dancing around a nade, punished by FaZe. They've only surrendered Vidaking at this point. Rexon and Canadian are last 2 alive. Canadian squelched by the nade, sent out in hand by Souls. Rexon will now retake the bomb site, playing between B, looking at A, outdueling KDS, but Souls is there in tow.
So there's really no footage for what SR like to do on this site, and FaZe will have to problem solve this. They're going to be off the top floor.
I had a good point to be made, but I seemingly lost it when they lost my audio. Oh my goodness, FaZe playing with 2 yet again. The real glimmer of hope for. Oh my.
Yes.
Oh my. Surf just standing completely still. Now it's going to fall onto the shoulders of Spoit and Canadian. Spoit with 1. Still 4 more targets to be found on the side of FaZe. The Brazilians having a great go of it with 1:20 on the clock.
Maybe there's a reason they haven't played this site since June, Parker. Everybody's falling to pieces. But Canadian gets 1 back, and now they're only down.
Neither of them able to stop Handy from getting the diffuser planted. Souls yet to die. Handy now lined up, seeing him on the ground. Down goes Spoit. Handy turns around. They know they've got Canadian stuck inside a connect.
Entry in through the office doorway. Nothing crazy. Nothing that we're not seeing across a lot of. The Utah play's been strong from FaZe Clan. We've got the castle barricades being cleared out, and already Handy inside of games. There's 3 bodies across the hallway from him. He finds 1, but the kill's going back the other way too. KDS enters in through Mudroom, gets a double kill, and this has gone all the way now for FaZe Clan. 3 for KDS, and they've got everybody but Canadian.
He's been playing a lot better at this event, but usually having Canadian as your last alive is not particularly confidence-inspiring. He is inarguably
really devastating. They have to rely on their magnets and, of course, those Surya gates.
And off to the races is Cyber on Blitz. A bit perplexing, and he struggles to hit the Amaya. Surf, but gets the job done. Surf yet to find a kill. He's the only one on his team that's held off the score sheet. Cyber still in hot pursuit, pushing these players from the Rebellion deep into Solarium. Spoit firing away. 2 kills for the Swede. KDS will gun down Rexon. That's top frag on Rebellion. And now Handy will try to follow. Good targeting, but just missing out on Spoit, who scampers off. Still just running away from Handy. Canadian found by KDS, and it's all up to Spoit. Big Willie fighting against the Blitz. You ever get slapped on that shield so hard you lean IRL? I am amazed at what Spoit was able to pull off there, but they were in pursuit briskly. Chalet is a relatively favorable map to the attackers. As we said, there's only really 1 good bomb site for the defenders. It just gets played so frequently. Surf and Spoit with a kill apiece, but Vidaking dies to some martyrdom as the grenade that had been, Surf dies to the martyrdom that was used by Vidaking. Souls gets taken down. Cyber in the midst of the smoke on 1 HP. Diffuser goes down, and he does not make it out of the building. I don't want to say too little too late, because at any point in time, it's good to get on the board.
Yeah.
But the final round of the first half, when the Rebellion should have won easily.
Takes to lose from this position. Also know what it takes to win. They, of course, but was able to get a just as critical.
Ambi's having a bad game.
Fair to say.
That is, it's a bit of shakes that he's going to need to settle down just a tiny, tiny bit. Oh my.
That should settle him a bit.
I don't think that will help. I think that will make it worse.
Can take the next couple minutes off at least.
Shopify Rebellion finally getting on the board. Spoit eliminating Cybers. We hit the halfway point in the round, but the Scorpions again. The sting from the Scorpion tail ever so hurtful. KDS gunning down Surf, and Canadian started laughing like, what do you want me to do, man? Like, a 6-1 for FaZe incoming, unless Troy Jaroslavsky can clutch out, and he could not. Handy gets the final kill right as... Or he was Sen Poppy Geo, and it would just be SEN, and you're like, who the hell is that?
There's no way to know.
Your name is just the 3 letters. You can see your whole name. It was very amusing. If you wonder why we're waffling, it's because FaZe is showing us a masterclass here on Shallow. Get too cute, though. Handy, the first casualty, and he died very early in the round. So now the 4 remaining players from FaZe gotta get a bit more aggressive, and Souls will do that. Rexon taken out by main door. That's the vigil of Souls, not roaming, but sitting inside the pin. And I was like, what is that sound? Assembling outside of library. Now a grenade will go in, flushing KDS off of his position. Successfully done. Souls with 3 kills, shut down by Canadian. And now Surf and Canadian will leaving KDS on the bomb site to defend against these players. Spot on. Surf and Canadian from above. A drop now in from Canadian. Final EE1D will go. These two working together so effectively. But FaZe Clan put this one away. An anticlimactic ending. Shout out those of you in chat that can name the team that went there. Beyond House, that CCTV cache bomb site is approaching a heavily upstairs. And then if they don't get picked off, they can fall back to the site really effectively. It's really just comes down to a matter of approach this map. They're going to run headfirst into this FaZe Clan team. Limited time remaining. Canadian holding that case as Ambi will now drop and go through Moto. Canadian is in the exact same spot. KDS gunning down Rexon. Church has not been flushed out. Nade will go off. Surf on the board to join Spoit's kill. That Spoit now gunned down by Vidaking. Ambi charging his way through Moto, but he gets gunned away at. He takes one down, and it's all up to Vidaking. Ambi, Surf, and Canadian are there. Canadian with defuse kit. Very limited HP. Vidaking, no gas canisters remaining. He takes Ambi down, but Surf... That time for FaZe Clan, watching the clock, using the utility to their disposal, and then, oh my goodness, getting out of there. Souls, what? Canadian becomes comedian on that one. Souls still survives, and now Cyber gets on the board as well. Finally, Souls is punished by Rexon, but Canadian having some issues. I think he hit the gun. The gun does not have a hitbox. You can light up the weapon as much as you want, but that is an unfortunate situation. And it's left Shopify Rebellion in a bit of a hole with only 30 seconds to go. A hole they are unlikely to climb out of now, Jesse, as Rexon is all alone with Spoit's death happening moments ago.
Pretty unwinnable from Richie. We'll see what he can do outside the building. Jumps in, he is in the crossfire, knows it now, and KDS hits the final shot to make this one good.
Confirmation, but I had suspicions. Yeah. Okay, I will say, when you see it in slow motion, it does kind of look like he should have hit him a couple times. I will give a little bit more credit and grace to Canadian than maybe my initial giggle. As you can see on the side of the Rebellion, they've taken a beating. Spoit is barely alive. Rexon has lost about 1/5 of his HP, give or take.
Canadian's got to make it to site. He's still bottom garage, Parker. A bit of a journey to make it up there. He'll have time, but not a whole lot. He's going over to platform to play with his teammates.
3 players on Shopify Rebellion all rocking that new DMR. The only one not using it is the Glass, who, oh my, will bring a very different weapon to this fight as he looks to jiggle peek around. Souls has that one lined up. Handy yet another. Souls in this position, fisting for a third, can't land it. Surf rushing in with very limited time, and he knows that he has to stick the plant. As from down below, Vidaking will do the job.
Then Canadian from bottom garage rotated all the way out the door, up the kitchen control. Ambi and Rexon are working their way down blue as we speak, so this is kind of what the push is looking like, but there's not a ton of options.
And Spoit's just gonna drop. What map control do you need if you've got the element of surprise? But Handy is not surprised in the slightest. 2 kills in his hands, Souls with 1 as well, playing inside of dirt. Ambi and Canadian will now need to start racking up the kills. The Blackbeard of Canadian gets 1, but he's got a lot more to do. Souls has been dropped, and Canadian will have to maneuver his way over there, but a crossfire is established. His job of opening things up as a hard breacher has been handled. It would have been pretty bad for this Shopify Rebellion team to lose that hard breach so quickly. Gone 6 is used to great effect. They blow it up, and what? KDS with a triple kill from a single Nitro cell, but immediately the Rebellion turn it back on its head. Ambi and Surf managing to narrow these numbers down back to a 2v2, back to even footing. They'll flash on in. Wamaya Cyber will now need to corner peek, but it's Surf all on his lonesome. Working his way through weight room, but he's having some trouble. They'll reposition. 10 seconds remaining. He has a good vantage point. Spraying through the wall. Now he'll try for another plant, running out of time, and Cyber will just play the clock with shotgun in hand. Past the point of no return, and Surf will not give him.
See, I think with the zombie ban, Rafters should be a lot easier to clear out for Shopify Rebellion. KDS is playing up there, but that's why Handy's getting aggressive. Loses the opening duel to Spoit. That's a nice shot from FaZe Clan way.
The thing is that the Rebellion are not playing poorly. Like, they're not doing really badly. It's just FaZe are in a world of their own at this point in time. There are shadows giving the position away yet again. Doorways, through walls, through windows. Shopify Rebellion have struggled to take up space inside of the map because FaZe Clan are not even allowing them in the building.
FaZe are playing strats you can only do when you have some of the best gunners in the world. Cyber and Lounge, the swing from Handy. Even Souls was playing aggressive on the billiards window earlier in this round, and Shopify Rebellion cannot find a way past it. Finally, Sir.
You can see in his position, the shadow. He can see the shadow of Ying, and blind KDS still sprays away. They've got that bulletproof camera giving him intel as he's being hunted down in that position. Juggling around, waiting for the right call. Ambi's the lone survivor with 2 players from FaZe Clan to deal with. Not a lot of time to work through this. Ambi looking to go positive right now, still battling his own demons. He's recovered pretty well from Chalet, but it's phased.
With Roamers in Lounge, with big swings on Garage, they know when to attack against, and they go up 5-1 through this half on the deciding map.
2 maps or 3 maps guarantees that both FaZe Clan and D plus Kia will move on to Phase 2. They will avoid elimination here in the very silhouette from Shopify Rebellion as one of their players decides to forego an active hold inside of escape tunnel / dirt tunnel. Out go the bees. Utility will now be dropped on in. It's a relatively quick push now with a minute to go. Nitro Cell almost getting King. Handy finds a second kill for his trouble. The King gets 1, Cyber the other, and Jesse. They just got beat by a team that knows the map even better. King manages to pull the diffuser down successfully. 9 players still alive with the objective planted. KDS removing Rexon's head. Looking for another. King eliminating Surf. Canadian is gone. And it's all up to Willie. A flawlessly won final round and a 4th 7-1 victory for FaZe Clan.